Well, I think I found a few more strange details from that mansion party in Eyes Wide Shut. So let's take a look. Hey, hello, and welcome to my channel. And as you can see from the title, today we're talking about Eyes Wide Shut. And I want to talk about something I haven't heard anyone else mention, and that is this. Since doing some of my recent videos about the mannequins of the costume shop actually moving and changing places, I started to wonder if there could be something odd about those guests at the mansion party too. And I had to ask, is there possibly a connection between the mansion party and the costume shop? And could there actually be mannequins at the party of Red Cloak? And why? And you may be surprised at what I found out. Of course, we should start with Dr. Bill Harford meeting up with his old friend Nick Nightingale at the Sonata Jazz Cafe where he is playing. When they sit at a table and have a drink together, Nick tells Dr. Bill about a secretive party he is playing at later where you need a password to get in, and the women are really beautiful. Bill is intrigued and wants to go, but first he must get a mask and a costume, which is why he ends up in the costume shop of Mr. Millich. When they enter the back room to get Bill a costume, the first thing we see are these mannequins, again, all wearing costumes. Now, in my video called Eyes Wide Shut, Mannequins Move at the Costume Shop, I proved that the mannequins do, in fact, move and change places in the back room here. But that got me thinking that perhaps there is some connection between what's happening here at the costume shop and that strange party at the mansion with Red Cloak. So let's see what we can find. Now, when we see Dr. Bill enter into the mansion party, we see him put on a mask. And I want you to notice that there are eye holes in his mask. In other words, he can still see out of this mask. I mention this because it will be important later. Inside, we meet Red Cloak performing what appears to be an occult ritual. But when we get a shot of these cult members standing around watching the ritual, I want you to notice that some of these masks don't seem to have eye holes. The eye area is just painted black. So there is no way they can see the ritual at all because they can't see out of these masks. And before you tell me it's just lighting, look at these two. They definitely can't see out of these masks. So what are they watching? There's something strange going on here. Now, with this guy on the right, obviously we can see his eyes through the mask. So there are definitely some real people at this party. But if, as I put forth in my video about the mannequins coming alive, that some mannequins may actually come to life in the costume shop, is it possible that we see anything similar happening here at the mansion? Let's see. Because after Bill is chosen to go away with the feather mask woman, who was just part of Red Cloak's ritual, we then get this bizarre scene where she is led away and up the stairs by this strange guy whose mask obviously has painted on eyes. So how can he lead her anywhere? I mean, he literally can't see. Also, I think I spotted a mannequin in here. When Bill enters the room where some of the naked people are, ignore them and look at this guy with the shiny mask where I wrote here, because his hand looks shiny too, and I think it may be a plastic mannequin hand that is held in this actor's costume, though it's only seen briefly. Also, some of these people standing in the background that never seem to move, I am going to say, could definitely be mannequins. So there are a lot of odd details. And there's even more strange details in this room with the pretty ladies. I've marked over several of the masks that don't appear to have eye holes that are really big enough to see out of, or they look painted over. I've marked a few of them. And if they can't see anything, then what are they watching? And actually, some of the guys with masks don't appear to have their head turned toward the ladies anyway. Some of them seem to be looking at us. And even the ladies' masks don't appear to have real eye holes. We never see their eyes. So, what's going on here? Could this be what mannequins do when they come to life? Sort of going through the motions of what they think people might do? Are there some mannequins in this shot? Of course, we do see the eyes of a few people through their masks, but one of our main characters, the feather mask woman, we never really see her eyes. Who is she? An initiate, perhaps. Then we meet Red Cloak, as Dr. Bill has been found out. We also get this weird assortment of masks on the cult members. And I want you to notice that, again, quite a few of the partygoers here are wearing masks that don't seem to have working eye holes. Take these three, for instance: the red moon shaped mask, the odd pyramid shaped mask, and the purple crowned mask. All three appear to have painted over eyes. So, how could they be watching a ritual or anything at all? Of course, mannequins also have painted on eyes. I feel it is a definite connection between this party and the costume shop. I guess we should also discuss Red Cloak, who is in charge of this party. First, we see Dr. Bill, again surrounded by masks that don't appear able to see anything. Then we get a good look at Red Cloak, and surprise, surprise, we can't see his eyes either, nor his attendants. Then everyone looks up to see the feather mask woman speaking. But if a lot of these cult members can't see out of their masks, then what exactly are they looking up at? In fact, it's obvious from this shot that Red Cloak can't see out of this mask, and yet he walks around leading a ritual and looks at people as if he can see. Can this high level magician actually see right through this mask? Because that appears to be the case. Now, I know I may be going out on a limb here, suggesting that there could actually be mannequins at this mansion party of Red Cloaks, and that they could even be some of those mannequins that seemed to come alive at the costume shop. But let me show one similarity. Look at a couple of these masks from the party, masks that obviously have painted over eyes. And this is at a party where everyone is supposedly standing around watching a ritual. It's odd so many of the cult members would choose masks that they can't see out of. But there is a parallel to the mannequins of the costume shop, since a mannequin also can't see from their plastic face with painted on eyes. Is that perhaps one of the reasons these costume shop mannequins come alive here? So that they can finally see? Now, I want to state that the ideas in this video are definitely speculative. But remember when Red Cloak tells Dr. Bill to, quote, remove your clothes or we will do it for you? Well, hear me out. But if you can think about that line in a different way, isn't that something that happens to mannequins? Their clothes are taken off for them. So that's another odd connection. Now, aside from the fact that there appears to be occult high magic taking place here, I think we can also say that the ritual of Red Cloak's party is related to the goings on at the costume shop. And since the mannequins seem to move and come alive there, I am going to say that some of the guests at the mansion party could also be mannequins. And they also change places. As I proved in my video, masks change at the mansion party. It seems we are just scratching the surface of what's happening here at this strange party. Well, that's my new video about the possible presence of mannequins at the mansion party. I hope you liked it. I'm working on something new for next week, and I hope to have that up soon. Also, let me say a big thank you to my awesome comment section. I always like to see those comments. And it would help my channel if you did hit that subscribe button. But either way, my name is Shim. Thank you for spending time with me, and have a great day.
You are free, but I warn you, if you make any further inquiries, or if you say a single word to anyone,